This is always the dilemma. I believe that the phrase is analysis paralysis.
Analysis paralysis is when overthinking prevents you from making a decision. It occurs when the fear of a mistake or the desire for perfection is stronger than your ability to act, which can happen with too much information, options, or anxiety. This can lead to indecision.
We do have too many options. That's the problem with fishing like this area. And if you come over here to if you start looking at lake maps, obviously it's early in the ice season, very early, right? So not everything's frozen, so that kind of takes a few major players off the board. But if you start scrolling around right next to my cabin here where I'm staying, there's my icon. What do you see? You just see water of some variety pretty much everywhere you're gonna turn. Some shallow sloughs, some of this, some of that, and you're like, where do I go? Yesterday, I wasted my own time. Went to a lake that I know has a ton of walleyes in it and found good ice. I was probably one of the first people out there. The ice was like plenty safe, but it just built really fast. And I caught 0 walleyes. None. I didn't even graph a walleye. And I fished there from like 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. on like a 500-600 acre lake. And I fished probably like 10 different spots. Riddle me how that works. How you don't even mark one. I didn't even mark one. So today we're gonna go to a different location. Can't take that level of defeat 2 days in a row. We got the minnows. I mean, without forward facing, is it even worth going? Extra camera gear, extra batteries, extra charging things. If you're gonna be running these little 1-pounders for heat, make sure you warm them up. Either put them like inside your bibs or just bring them to the lake in your truck when it starts getting cold like this. Brr, I can feel it in the fingertips, boys. She's chilly. I gotta bring you guys with. You guys are coming with today. We got a long walk today, folks. All right, what do we need? Auger, spud bar, ice picks, slasher, rods. There's always so much stuff. Which one needs to catch a damn fish? And we're even rolling light. All right, here we go. Windy, cold. Let's do it. This little shack's kind of growing on me. These mile-long walks aren't as hard as I thought they'd be. I got waypoints out here from one time when I was in the boat a couple years ago, just on a little transition here. It's kind of like, it's actually an old road bed that kind of comes off a point here and intersects like this other, like the old shoreline. So it's kind of like a T that comes together. And I'm basically gonna set up like right in one of the, kind of like the gaps of one of those T's where it comes right up onto this thing. So it's only about 2 feet deep on top, but any piece of structure on a lot of these prairie lakes is a good piece of structure. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Kick a little snow on that shack so everything, the wind's not coming in, icing the line up. Now it's time for the half an hour long battle of unthawing the camera lens, which inevitably happens every time you put a camera inside with the heater. Unfortunately, this camera is not going to last very long outside, so neither are our fingers today. Well, it's about 7:04 right now. Just getting set up in the shack here. Got our dead stick down. It's probably a little bit of time before that first fish comes in, but today I want to hit a couple of different sections of water, or bodies of water, I guess you could say. So we're going to kind of play it by ear, see how it goes out here by about 9 o'clock, 2 hours, fish that mooring window, see what happens, and then make a play. Got our dead stick down. We're fishing that same as the reef runner flash shad that I fished in the last video. Got a bunch of messages from other people that you guys were already catching fish on this. So I don't know how, you guys must be pretty damn serious about ice fishing to beat me to ice, but this thing is a little money maker, especially on a lot of, like, you know, it's not going to be the Lake Winnipeg size, but if you're fishing for eater walleyes, man, this bait has a really cool kind of like hop and glide to it. It's almost close to like a shiver minnow. Like when you short hop it, just do something like this, you could hear those rattles, but the bait kind of like, It wants to like walk out to the side quite a bit. And then obviously if you kind of do that little bit bigger pop, it has that. So it's kind of it's not just like one of those rattle baits, it seems like, where it's just like, it only does one thing and that's a big rip and it goes and then comes back down, which is super obnoxious and incredibly one-dimensional. You can kind of get real finessey and twitchy with it like this, and it'll kind of walk around like that. Not gonna lie to you guys, the main goal today is to catch a fish. After yesterday, just getting my ass handed to me. Show us the bad days, that would make really good content. It doesn't though, it really doesn't. In fact, if you guys want to see it, I'll show you the whole video right now. Got him right there, dude. Fish on. Oh, it's a nice perchy. It's a nice perchy. Second of all, I'm not entertaining enough to make a bad day enjoyable to watch. This is the part where you set up on one of these flash bite spots and you do all the work. You walk hundreds and hundreds of yards. You set up, it's freezing cold out. And then you have like a 50-50 shot of just nothing happening, you know. You don't know if anything's gonna happen until it's too late to do anything about it. High stakes, high reward. Speak of the devil, why is my drag so loose? Why is my... Oh, it's a real nice one too. Wow. Stay on. Don't go in the live. Stay on. Stay on. Come on, girl. Come on, gotta get that out real quick. Oh, that was kind of dicey there. Come on. Come on. Oh, flash shed. Oh, come on. 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 Just like to keep them real. Oh, get up the hole. Get up the hole. There we go. Just talking about it. And there he is, folks. Boom. On the flash shed. There's our first bite of the day right there. Look at that, dude. I always get ridiculed oftentimes on ice videos or open water videos for keeping my drag loose. There's a really good reason I keep my drag loose in this situation. Look at that fish, man. Right as the sun's coming up. Are you kidding me? That's as good as it gets right there, huh? Wow. See you later, dude. If you complain about it, they will appear, apparently. I always get asked, like, oh, it sounds like his drag's really loose. Why does it sound like that? This situation, I'm fishing a bait like this. Obviously, it's a smaller blade bait, so it doesn't have really big hooks, right? Second of all, I'm sitting in like 7 feet of water, so everything's going to be like real immediate. I don't need a really hard hook set. So when these fish get right up under the ice, they have a lot of fight when they're right under that hole. So by doing that, it basically gives me like a fail-safe. Like, granted, my drag was a little bit loose when I set the hook on this fish, but it gives me like a little bit of fail-safe because I don't need a lot of hook setting power. I just need this rod to load and give line when the fish wants to take line. So most 99% of the time, especially if I'm jigging really shallow, I err way on the side of keeping my drag relatively light, much lighter than I would if I was fishing deep water. Not even going out there, but I want to show you guys this gorgeous Arctic day sunrise here. Oh, hang on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Sometimes if you just twitch it a little bit, they'll come up and get it. Yep, just like that right there. Yep, he's got it. He's got it. For some reason, it didn't look like he got it there for a second, but he's definitely got it. On. All right, boys, we're in luck. We're in luck. Oh, whoa. Another nice one, dude. I mean, we're not in anything real big, but a lot of these little lakes like this, man, if you can just get on some good eater-sized fish and mix in like a 20-pluser at some point throughout the morning, it's not too shabby. It's not too shabby. Well, they're starting to show up, which means it's time to make hay in here. There's just a 15er right there, but we'll take them. That's on that same moonshine spoon, which I've been ranting and raving about in the last video. I think one of the biggest things I noticed, like, being a Wisconsin guy, right? I'm as much of a live bait guy as anybody when it comes to ice fishing. I mean, that's what we do. If you're not familiar with Wisconsin ice fishing, rarely does it even involve a jigging rod. It just involves tip-ups and set lines and tip-downs and blah, 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 blah. But one thing I noticed was that, especially when you're in shallow water, you don't want like a big weight pinning your minnow down. So here is this this is a 24th ounce, I'll link it down below. It's a 24th ounce moonshine spoon, Castmaster, and it lets this minnow kind of like have a little bit of free range down there. Now this would be brutal to fish in like 27 feet of water on Mille Lacs with a sucker minnow. But in situations like this where you might just be using a bigger fathead on here, it allows this minnow to kind of have a little bit of wiggle room down there and keeps it all more wispy, which is a huge converter on a dead stick. Feed me another one. I'm greedy. Call me one in, Mr. Flash. Call me one in. Let's give him some. Ice fishing more than anything else, you feel like you're just losing your mind sometimes sitting here. I feel like when you're in a shack, it's just so one-dimensional. I mean, you're fishing down an 8-inch hole on a 1,000-acre lake. And you're like, there's no way, right? How is a fish going to go underneath me? Well, folks at home, here's the deal. Caught those first 2 fish. And since then, I marked those 2 others. One that didn't bite, one that bit and just didn't like get it good. And I marked a fish in maybe like 20 minutes, which is not good given the fact it's 8:30 in the morning right now. It should be like primo time. Well, my friends, you gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them. We're not on enough fish to be satisfactory. Can't be too mad. Caught a couple walleyes, saw a couple more, but you gotta move around at least a little bit. Try something different, you know. See how we're looking. I like it. Let's try it. Did he get it? Oh, there's 2 of them down there, though. Come on, dude. Got him right there. Fish on, boys. The move paid off. The move paid off. Oh, I got this other one down there too right now. Come on, dude. Get it, get it, get it. Yep, he got it, he got it. Yes, dude. We're doubled up. We're doubled up. We're doubled up. All right. All right. I actually went down to a spoon just to kind of see if they want something a little bit more finessey. I mean, it seems so much like these fish are just kind of like real timid, you know, with kind of this cold day. Got the boss calling us. There we go. Not a big one, man, but we will take them. We're kind of grinding them out this morning a little bit. We'll tighten up on them. Wow, dude, he dropped it. It's kind of weird.
And then I have an about page and then a contact me page, which I
Hang on, Shelbs. Yeah. Got him right there. Oh no! Shelbs, it's bad luck when I'm talking to you.
Oh, well, I'm done. I can leave.
Alright, sounds good. What do you need? Oh, hang on. Oh my gosh, dude. Hang on, he's gonna bite the dead stick. Yep, he bit the dead stick. Alright. Stay on. You wanna watch this? All right, guys, Shelby is on the phone at home here. Don't mess it up. Got a lot of pressure on this one. Got him right there. Fish on. Oh yeah, baby. The move is paying off. That little, I mean, they're not giants on this so far on this spot, but for midday, man, we're catching them. Shelby, what do you think about that?
Finally.
I know, finally. I finally caught one, right? And all of a sudden they're coming in, and I kind of set up here, like right on the base of a brake line on a different part of the roadbed here. And obviously, they seem to be coming in midday. There we go. See you later, dude. Shelbs, anything to say to the YouTube following?
I guess I am good luck, Mr. Tom Boley.
All right. Thank you, Miss Tom Boley.
Yeah.
See you later. Love ya.
Love you too.
All right. They're coming in. We're on them. We're on them. Shelby's working on some cool stuff today on the back end of Tom Boley fish. See, this is what a good fisherman does. A good fisherman delegates tasks, right? So that I can be out here and I don't have to be on a computer. And that is key to being happy, for me anyways. You can tell, like, from the other day when I was fishing, even from, like, first light, their attitude's just totally different. They're much more, like, timid. Ooh, kind of coming around, creeping around, swatting at baits versus, like, really eating them good. Well, hey, man, we'll catch them however we have to. I kind of want to show you guys this real quick here. So, when I moved around and I was kind of jumping around, I got to this other spot here. Kind of following the Lake Master mapping, obviously. And Mega Live does such a good job of not just, you know, finding and seeing fish. Like in these shallow lakes, the fish are just going to run around a lot. Especially once you kind of get on them and start drilling holes around them. And if you look right here, I don't know what this is, dude. If it's weeds or something like this, you can see there. If I pan this way, you're going to see, yeah, see there's actually two fish right in the bottom right there. Not very far away from me, right there. You can kind of see them moving around right there. They're just up on kind of this ledge right here. And if I pan back behind me, it's all just very flat, right? If I start swinging this way, you're going to see it start coming up a little bit right there. That bottom gets a lot harder and brighter. And then I have whatever this is, like weeds or something like this. And in lakes that are just relatively like a featureless bowl, you get on a little bit of an edge or something like this. If I can still see those fish again. They might have kind of moved out of frame now, or moved around, but you get on just a little bit of an edge where it might go from soft bottom to hard bottom, and then you find something unique like that right there, set up right next to it, because it's going to be like a magnet. It's like a deer walking through the woods, and there's one tree in the middle of, or walking through a field, and there's one tree in the middle of the field. They always go out towards that one thing that's just out there, right? Subconsciously almost, and that's kind of what we got here, just one little piece of structure in the middle of nothing. And obviously there's a bunch of walleyes on it. And that's something that we're 100% going to want to waypoint. Got him right there. They just appear absolutely out of nowhere too sometimes like this. He is dogging, man. They get just kind of like right under the ice like this. Oh yeah, it's a nice fish. Don't get in my other stuff, dude. Best way to catch one is often just sitting on the phone. Look at that thing down there. Get up the hole. Get up the hole. Come on, dude. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. First ice walleyes. Doesn't get any better than that, man. That little move definitely paid off. Back down she goes. See you later, dude. Thanks for playing the game. Fighting hard in skinny ice. I always get asked about rods pretty much in every single video. And as you guys know, if you watch this channel in the past, generally I like fishing really long ice rods. And for most of the year, I'm going to be. But I figured just kind of this run and gun, fishing out of the little shack, we'll use some shorter ice rods, which I've kind of neglected over the past couple years because I love fishing like 44, 46, 45-inch ice rods so much. So here's kind of the setup. For my lighter spoons, 1/8 ounce stuff, is 1/8 ounce, 12 ounce, kind of an in-between like walleye perch rod. Great shallow water rod if you're fishing for a lot of 14 to 23 inch walleyes. This is the Walleye Perca XL. And this rod kind of blends that small spoon, finessey type walleye fishing. It's got a really good load to it, which is still really important. A lot of, you know, this rod's going to have a lot of play in it, as you guys can see when you're fighting fish in shallow water, which is what you want. 6-pound fluorocarbon or 6-pound mono on this. You want that little bit of stretch in there. And I'm never really going to be fishing anything bigger than a spoon like this on here, on this rod. The other rod, and I'll link up all this stuff down below, but the other rod in which I'm fishing for like the reaction baits or like the flash shad, which you've been catching a bunch of fish on, obviously, is this is the Rip'N Eyes XL. So this is a 36 inch. There was a Rip'N Eyes rod, which is a couple inches shorter. This one is the XL version. It's meant for a little bit more of, it's definitely a stiffer rod, still has that great load in it. But at 36 inches long, it's kind of that sweet spot between like a long rod and like a 30 inch rod, right? I'm convinced that once you get to like that 34, 36 inch range, you're naturally going to land a lot more fish on these rods in particular. Because just like that last fish you saw where it goes crazy right into the hole, you have a lot more of the rod to absorb it. If you're fishing with a 28 inch ice rod, a lot of times your head shakes just look like this in the rod. That's how fish come off. So fishing these little bit longer rods, you still get the advantages of having that longer blank to absorb a lot of that fight, and to obviously play that fish out. So those are kind of the two rods we're using. One's got 8-pound ice braid on it, my reaction bait rod. The other one's just got 6-pound mono on it. And that's the deal. You don't have to get too crazy. And obviously the unsung hero is always the dead stick rod. All in all, not a bad morning, eh, boys? For below zero. Whoa. Now, obviously, we could probably just plant ourselves right here and stay here for the afternoon, evening bite, and just catch a bunch more fish. You guys know me. I like to move. I like to keep it moving and grooving. You don't learn very much if you just fish like, you know, obviously the first day we fished the lake. Today we're on a different lake. But my adventurous side of trying new water always gets the best of me, for better or for worse. So that's the plan. We're gonna get out of here. We got about another mile walk back to the truck. Then we're gonna head back to the resort and try something else this afternoon. Got to talk about it. Holy cow, it is cold out. I don't know if you guys got snot boogers, beard boogers. Got to talk ice safety. I know it's probably redundant. I know you guys probably see this 100 times every start to the ice season, but I see occasionally other YouTubers or other fishing promoters, or maybe it's just someone on social media, right, who's saying super sketchy ice, first fish, giant this. I hate promoting the thought that, you know, kids watch this show, right? And the thought of promoting to like a 13-year-old kid who's like, man, the pond behind my house is frozen. Why don't I go out there? You have to be so careful, man. I used to do dumb stuff when I was a kid. I don't do that anymore. I realize how absolutely foolish and stupid that is to risk your life for a fish. So although it probably doesn't come through on every video, I am incredibly meticulous. I spud everything. I obviously have 20 years of kind of reading ice on big lakes, little lakes, but still you have to check everything. I want to air this clip right here from yesterday. So obviously I've been on this lake now all day, but on the other side of it, pretty much everywhere it's looked a lot like that, you know, probably 4 inches. Look at some of these spots where the snow is. Straight through. Not a big fan of that. And where there's not snow, good ice again. So this is a clip that I filmed on a different lake yesterday. I fished it all morning, and then in the afternoon I moved around a little bit and started finding spots that were an inch thick, and obviously got off the lake. But that could be the difference at just a little bit of snow. And there's a million factors. Current, wind, the way ice can shelf up when it starts to make, snow obviously. Have to be so careful, have to have a spud bar, have to have ice picks with you. It might not look like it in every video. But I'm very meticulous how I check ice. I refuse to go on ice that I don't feel super confident in. In fact, on this trip in particular, I got out here, I saw people fishing the first day and a half I was here. I sat on shore for 2 more additional days, waiting for that ice to set up better, and then started filming. Because I want that assurance that that ice is safe for me. So just got to throw that in there. We had a fun morning. It's late morning now. Obviously caught some fish, nothing crazy, but I'm gonna pull off here. We're gonna get back to the resort, charge up, eat some food, and go back out on a different body of water for the evening bite. At least go check the ice. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Have a safe early ice season. We'll see you guys in the next one.